As night falls in Singapore, the track starts to warm up, and it'll be red hot by the time we find out who's on pole for tomorrow's race. Time to set the grid then. Welcome along to qualifying here in Singapore.
Here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are fastest lap at the moment, 1 minute 28.3. Senna, Russell, Schumacher, Hakkinen and Massa. I'm afraid we've dropped to P22. You're in first position, front of the pack. Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1:27.6. And we're in front of Senna, Russell and Schumacher.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. And here's our track, 4.94 kilometres long, and overtaking chances into the first corner, into turn 14 at the end of the Esplanade, and now into turn 16 in the newly reprofiled sector that we first ran on in 2023. Still though, it's punishing and tough on the brakes, and the heat and humidity will take an effect on our drivers. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Jenson Button lines up on pole position, and it's Ayrton Senna alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Michael Schumacher, Mika Hakkinen and Massa, Jackson, O'Sullivan, Bortoletto and Liam Lawson, Ocon, Colapinto, Joshua Pearce and Maloney, Albon, Verschoor, Taylor Barnard and Isaac Hadjar, Crawford, Fittipaldi, Martins, and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their...
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. OK, you've got front wing damage, but only have a few laps left. If you can live with it, stay out. Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations, well done.
And the crowd rise to greet our winner, signed, sealed, and fastened up by Jenson Button.
They led from lights out to the flag at the end, and their race victory was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Okay, Chief. We have a part or two ready for development because they finished research. Let's get that in motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info. Chief, I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
What an atmosphere we've got. The fans have been here since dawn, and the stadium, the Faro Sol, is absolutely heaving. We're about to get set to set the grid for tomorrow's Grand Prix. It's qualifying day here in Mexico City.
We've been pushed down to P22.
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Bienvenidos to the most populous city in North America. The legendary Jim Clark won the first official F1 race back in 1963 here, and we've had a veritable who's who of winners ever since. It's Mexico City, and therefore, the Mexico City Grand Prix. At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners then make a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking into the braking zones of Turn 1 and Turn 4. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Michael Schumacher yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Jenson Button alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bortoletto, Hakkinen, Joshua Pearce, and Lawson, Senna, Russell, O'Sullivan, and Zane Maloney, Albon, Massa, Aiden Jackson and Barnard, Crawford, Ocon, Richard Verschoor and Franco Colapinto, Hadja, Martins, Fittipaldi and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. So here we are, 2.2 kilometres up in the air, which I know is an unusual feeling for you, Mr. Davidson, but for the drivers, it's even worse.
It is. The altitude can certainly get to your head, Crofty, that's for sure. Especially when you're walking up the stairs to the commentary box. I've seen it firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. But this circuit, the problem with the altitude is it takes away your downforce. You have to go slower around the corners because you've got less downforce, even though...
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. As things stand, we're going to be leading the championship. Box, box, we're coming in this lap. Pit now. Seems to have been a bit of a problem removing the left front wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though and finish the race strong. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. You're in first position, front of the pack. Schumacher behind. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. We think we might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. You're leading the pack. That's P1. That's Schumacher behind you. They're on old mediums. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
And it's another great day to add to so many more. A win for the legend that is Michael Schumacher.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Okay, me again. Got another question for you. I've heard back about a positive outcome on this one.
Hey, Chief. We have a part or two ready for development because they finished research. Let's get that in motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info. Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.